G'day guys, welcome. I am back. Yeah, I am back. I've been out. Yeah, been out for nearly 2 weeks now. Um, managed. Yeah, managed just with some general soreness. Yeah, they just thought they'd put me. I'm at the age now. Just put me on ice for a period of time. Just get the body right. It's a long season. I'm not going to probably play all 22 this year. I will play definitely if we make. I'll play finals, but not necessarily going to play the all 22. But I'm back to sink the teeth into this review of our smashing of a nemesis. They really have been a nemesis, North Melbourne. They've beaten the absolute shit out of us for a significant period of time. Not only on the scoreboard, but physically. Physically. All right, mentally, they've beaten up on us, and physically. So it was an absolute pleasure to hand out a small revenge. And I'm not into the footy banner bullshit really amongst supporters, but I have to. I must say, what is the world? What is the world of football becoming? What is it becoming? All I've heard over the last 36 hours, all I've heard is about the Jack Silvani apparent phrase, okay, North are shit. We don't even know if he exactly said that for a start, but even if he did, who gives a flying? Oh my God, do we want to kill? I mean, we're killing everything. We're killing the fair bumps now, Lewis Young and Liam Stocker. I'll get to that in a second. But now the sanctimonious want to kill innocent footy banter. I mean, even if Jack did say that, he probably had every right to do it. He's just been smashed in the kidneys by a cheap shot from a first-year player. And good on Jason Horne-Francis. He got a little bit of mongrel in him. Fantastic. And I'm sure he can look after himself. Oh my God, but just the crap. Absolute crap. One from North Melbourne supporters and also from former players of North Melbourne to then go on about Carlton and we should know better because we've been in the same situation. And please emphasise with us and take it easy on us because you've been there as well. I mean, for crying out loud. Oh my God. It makes me sick. It makes me want to vomit. And you know what? The first thing I thought of during and after that game when I was thinking about and trying to analyse our 50-point win where we had 29 scoring shots to their 14, we had 100 more disposals, 18 more inside 50s, 11 more clearances, 122 to 8 out of the middle. We had 6 more contested possessions. We had 94 more uncontested possessions, 17 to 5 inside tackles in our favour. We cleaned up 2 of their players. Lewis Young ran through Cam Zurha. Liam Stocker ran through Taron Thomas. And we led from basically start to finish. This is a team. This is a Carlton team that is still, let's just say on the top side, they're just a little bit better than average. Again, I know we're 5-2. But we were beaten up by Fremantle. And Fremantle are a bloody good team now. They're a good team. And this is what we did to North. North are shit. And it's all I could think about how shit North were. And don't get me wrong, I thought their effort was okay and they challenged us in that second quarter, but like all shit teams do, they fall away like we used to do. There'd be a fleeting moment, okay, with a bit of energy, and they try to physically rough us up in that third quarter. We just went bang. We went bang. And I'd love to say like all good sides do, we responded, but we're not there yet. And that's how shit North are. That's how shit they are. So Jack was right. If he's saying North is shit, then he was right. And I know Vossi says he wants his players to be humble, but he's also got to realise that Voss would have done exactly the same thing if someone gave him a cheap shot. So it is innocent banter that should remain on the footy field, and we should not even be engaging in any of it unless it's racially vilifying, okay? Let him go. Let him go. For crying out loud. Okay. So, to me, shit sides like North Melbourne allow you to see some things. And we played against some decent opposition this year as well and showed really good signs in patches, which in the end we've got the win, like Bulldogs and Richmond. But this game was comprehensive from basically the start to the finish, other than a brief moment in that second quarter. But this was comprehensive right the way across the four quarters, because shit teams really allow you to do that. And where I thought we were really good was those 94 uncontested possessions. For the first time this year, I really saw across the four quarters, some eye-catching performances from, I call them the periphery players, but these are the outside players who are going to make us a generally better team. And we still don't know enough about them and whether they are going to be consistently good enough. But it also is it is up to our contested players to use the ball better and identify the players who complement the inside players. And there was three. Doherty was outstanding in his role across half back. And I don't think Doc is necessarily a great contested player. He's not a great one-on-one defender anymore. And sometimes I think we've got too many of the Doc types. Zach Williams, and it wasn't Adam Sard amazing. He can do both. All right, he can do both. But I'm actually feeling he's better in the contested side of the game at the moment, because he really does hunt the opposition, wins the ball in the contest, then goes. Where the likes of Doc and Williams are a lot more, and Newman are a lot more on the outside. Sometimes I feel like we have too many of those, and we didn't get tested this week against the shit side North. Because there wasn't a Walters, there wasn't a Schultz, and there wasn't a Swiskowski, okay, or a Fredericks, who were going to put so much defensive pressure on that wouldn't allow those guys to get off the chain. But in this game, we saw Doherty have an unbelievable outside game. Okay, with the amount of ball he had, and he generally used it really well. But the two that probably are not going to get a lot of recognition, okay, because they didn't win a hell of a lot of the football, but they had a huge impact, and probably a bigger impact than I can ever remember from these two players and the role that they play. The one is Lockie O'Brien, 15 touches, 12 uncontested, but every one of these 15, I thought was damaging. Where he got them, how he used them, how he changed the angles, when he brought the ball inside forward 50. And I don't think we've necessarily seen that from him. So the ordinary teams will allow, your inside players to structure up better to be able to use the class. And I thought Fisher as, the fifth or sixth midfielder, a high half forward at the moment, I thought his game is as good as I've ever seen, because they used him. Okay, he was engaged in the contest because they used him against lesser opposition, and his ability, and I think left footers have got this in their game. They've got this ability to be able to turn their opponents inside out, lower the eyes, find the fat side. I thought his ball use was as good as I've seen from a Carlton player in a very long time. And I know there would have been times he missed the target, but I thought he was super in that role. Okay, we're not asking Fisher and O'Brien, lighter side players, to be contested players. We're not asking them that. You can't have everyone sucked into the contest. You need to have those guys on the outside. And for the first time across four quarters, we were able to do that. But we need to put it into context because the opposition were poor. And they allowed us to do it. They didn't have any threats in the forward 50 for our running defenders. I mean, Larky's good in the air, and that's about it. Okay, who else did they have there applying defensive pressure? They laid 5 tackles inside their forward half to North Melbourne. Okay, 5 tackles, and we had 60 entries. I mean, that's poor. All right, so it just shows you, okay, that they have it in them. And up the other end of the ground, I mean, Charlie and Big Harry, who are in super form, and we know how good they are. Okay, well, they have Walker and I can't even remember who played on Harry, an undersized defender. Okay, who the poor kid had a nightmare, and Harry's been super. He's been super. Positive signs against a shit football team. Simple as that. And it'd be like in previous years, a team who's finished just outside the top 8 or just inside the top 8, where we are at the moment, beating up on us. Okay, when we were going through exactly the same thing which North Melbourne are going through at the moment. Okay, really beating up us. And we looked at that and go, and then you look at them and they're not going to contend for top 4. And I don't think we're going to contend for top 4. I really don't, based on what I've seen so far. But we've just done a number. And right here, right now, I'm happy we've just done a number on a really poor football team, because it shows that we can do it. We can do it. So let's now see if we can do it against, some real quality opposition. And that comes the test. That becomes the real test. Okay? Catch you soon.